When Brightin Star first got in touch about this lens, I thought, Brightin Star, this lens, isn't it a bit similar to another one that we looked at recently? And I had a quick Google and I thought, you know what? I think this is worth looking at. So let's talk about why.
Gotta say, it's a tidy box. Warranty card, instruction manual, the killer feature. We'll get back to that. And look at that. That is actually, I'm sorry, but that is one of the best bit of packaging that I've seen in quite a while. This is very interesting. Brightin Star, what is going on? What is this? What are they doing? That bag. That's the nicest soft bag ever. It's a bit pretty for me, but hey, that is, well, I'm impressed by that. Now, obviously the lens itself we know is very similar internally to a lens we've looked at last year, I think it was now. But there's a killer feature with this one. And to be honest, I'm already very impressed by that packaging. And the overall, you know, design of it, although it is very similar, they have clearly made it their own. I'm not sure what goes on in these factories, but 5.6 to 22, clicked aperturing, kind of slow. I do actually like how they've done that. That's pretty cool. Comment in below, no, even below, comment if you know who they've ripped off, for want of a better phrase. 20 centimeters minimum focusing. Hits just off infinity according to that. We'll see how we get on with that. So we've got a maximum magnification ratio of 1 to 13.5. Weighs roughly 424 grams without the caps. Now, we're not going to go too wild into this because it has the same 16 elements, 11 groups, 9 blades. I think 9 blades or 5 blades. We'll have to check. As the other, but this one, which sets it apart from the other 9mm 5.6 that we looked at, has this rather interesting feature, which I'm really happy about. We'll see how happy after some good use. Screws in. We've already got bits on it. There we go. Screws in. And now line it up, pop it on, and we're away with extra 10 stops in there. Of course, you don't need to use it all the time, but that looks like the killer feature with this version of the lens. Packaging and all that, that's all well and good, but it's all about how the lens performs. So let's see what we can find out.
I find the lens pretty easy to use out and about, you know, what with this nice clicked aperture ring and the manual focus ring, which is pretty smooth, but a little bit heavy, if I'm honest. Then you've got that rear filter, you know, knockout feature, which works a treat. You get decent quality out of the 10-stop glass, but I'd like to see more options to make the most of such a killer feature. The rear filter is 34mm, but I haven't got anything to test. And I'm not sure Brightin Star have plans to release more of these little things anytime soon. Very, very similar to my experience with the other 9mm that we looked at for L mounts. Not bad image quality overall. It is best at f8. You're getting decent center sharpness, wide open, dodgy edges. In general, distortion only becomes an issue towards the final quarter of the frame. Colors, in fairness, are okay, and contrast isn't bad at all. Clearly, my S5 is doing a lot of the work here, but that's okay. Chromatic aberration and fringing is present, but not too bad. Vignetting, better than expected, and close-up work isn't bad considering the aperture and focal length we're working with. Flare is surprisingly well controlled too. Effectively, we're playing with the same setup as with the 7 Artisans 9mm that we looked at before. The nearest equivalent, the 7 Artisans 9mm that we looked at last year, is around £459 at the time of recording. And this lens from Brightin Star is actually an interesting option, especially as the price is basically the same. I'd go with this version based on what it offers. The same IQ basically, but with the rear ND filter. Add to that the cool packaging. It's a nice touch. If Brightin Star continue to add better features to these lenses they're bringing out, whether the rebrands or whatever, and then start putting out their own designs, it could become a low budget brand worth paying attention to. They're slowly making a mark on this end of the market, so you never know. But let us know if you've tried anything from this brand. Should we try more from them? Let us know in the comments and I'll see you there.